This is fantastic.
So we are gonna go out into the garage and prime this Lego head for white paint. I'm not going to do any like repair because it's a meme cosplay.
So I got to priming it and spray painting it with this glossy white paint. I had to run to the store and get the glossy white paint, so I didn't record anything because it was just going back and forth. But while the paint was drying, I had to figure out how I was going to paint the face on it. Now, I'm not an artist and I can't freehand something this, I guess, exact. So I was going to rely on my Cricut to do everything for me. But there was nothing online that I could buy to get her face in like the SVG file form, which is what you need to cut it out on a Cricut. So I took a photo with my camera, like my phone camera, of the Lego head, and then I removed the background, and now I am just kind of freehand drawing in Krita, this drawing program, over the reference photo. If you do any of these drawing programs at all, you are probably watching me do all this and cringing, because I'm sure there are a million different ways that I could have done this so it would be easier on me. But I didn't know those ways, and I really didn't want to take time to learn those ways, so I'm doing everything freehand. And even though I was just using my mouse and hoping for the best, I am very impressed by what I was able to accomplish and the time that I dedicated to it. I think this all maybe took me less than an hour to do. I was worried, however, about how I was going to translate this into a Cricut file, since I wasn't smart enough, or I didn't think about it at the time, to separate the red colors from the black and brown colors. But thankfully Cricut has this new feature in their program where it will separate it for you. So yes, it separated the eyes and the eyebrows in red as well, but I just didn't use them. It doesn't matter, it's okay, right? So I decided to do a test cut first to see if I can put it over the eye and it's sized properly. And so I chose the vinyl. I just used the normal pressure, which later I'll find out was not the right pressure. But that's okay. That is why we do test cuts, right? So I am removing just one eye from this cut to put over the eyeball on the helmet, and I realized that the eye that's cut out, like the hole in the middle of it, that's supposed to go over white. It's not supposed to go over the hole that I'm supposed to see out of. So we're gonna have to have a second hole in the eye. And also I wanted the size a little bit bigger, just slightly. I don't know why. I was just being kind of a perfectionist. So with this gray circle, I measured the eye hole on the helmet head, like Lego head helmet, and I put that size hole on top of the eye. So what I need to do here is I need to tell the machine that we need an additional hole in these eyeballs. So you have the white hole on top, which is going to go over the white paint, which is part of the eye, right? But this gray hole is going to be over the eye holes. And I did not know how to communicate this to the program. So I am trying to merge and combine and flatten and do all these different things with the program to get it to cut additional holes in these black pieces. But what it was trying to do was cut additional circles, like the circles underneath the eyes, kind of circles. And I'm like, no, I don't need more circles. I need holes cut in these eyes. And then it tried flattening it so I would print it out on like my printer instead, rather than cut it on my cutter. And it was a whole mess, and I was getting really frustrated. But instead of Googling it, I just continued pressing buttons. So here I'm like, okay, let's just change it to white and see if I can like track it better. Sure enough, that worked. here we go. The program knows that I want additional holes in my eyes. So we're going to choose vinyl, and we're going to choose the more pressure, so it will be a little bit easier getting them off of the vinyl sheets when I want to just take them off after it's cut. So here I am doing the real thing, and I'm putting it on the mat so it's all nice and sticky and flat, and putting it in the machine and then letting the machine cut it out. And the glossy vinyl makes it difficult for you to see the lines that it's cutting out. But I went back and forth about whether or not I wanted glossy vinyl or matte vinyl. And I think choosing the glossy vinyl is a good choice, because when you look at a Lego head, the whole head is glossy. There's no really matte features on it. So I'm really happy with my decision here. So I'm putting the bottom holes over my like seeing eye holes, and you can't tell, right? Like when you're looking, you can't tell there's holes in the eyes. I love it. Look it, that's so cool. It's working out. And here I realize I can't put the mouthpiece on because I have to put the lips on first, so I can put the black like mouth line over them. So I'm doing the same thing where I am putting the red vinyl on the Cricut mat. I'm putting it on flat, and I'm putting it where the Cricut expects it to be for when it cuts everything out. I'm feeding it into the machine, and I'm letting the program work its magic. And I had this red vinyl laying around, so I'm very happy that I have to go out and buy the red, but I don't have brown vinyl for the eyebrows. So I'm waiting for Amazon to deliver that in like 2 days. So she's not gonna have eyebrows for right now, but that's okay. We don't need eyebrows anyways, right? Yeah, but the brown's coming, and she will look perfect in about 2 days. So I am removing the vinyl that I don't need from this vinyl sheet, so then it could be easier to see the pieces that I do need. And it just comes up, and I have like this tool that looks like something your dentist uses to get plaque out of your teeth, to make sure that it comes up and all the pieces that I actually need stay on the sheet. So I am just making sure that everything is where it's supposed to be, but these red dots, I didn't really care that much. I'm just kind of eyeballing it and hoping for the best. But the mouth here, I want it to be perfect. So here I am positioning my thumb exactly where the center of the lips are supposed to be, and I'm not moving it. I'm not moving my thumb. I was stubborn. I was going to remove the lips using just one hand and then putting the center of the lips where my thumb is, but I refused to move my thumb to help me out. But I did it. It took a while, but I did it. And then I put the mouth on, and so it was perfectly centered and exactly where it needs to be in relation to the rest of the pieces. And then I put this black line over her mouth to make it pretty and accurate, and I was gonna make sure that it was on perfect and before I pushed down too hard to make it permanent. And that is the face without the eyebrows, of course. And I was so happy with how it turned out. Like, I actually drew these, I mean, with a reference underneath actually, but I free-handed these, I drew it, and it turned out, like, you can recognize her. You know who she is. You look at her. Here's a reference, right? Here is Queen Amidala, and here's my Lego head. Let's go. Okay, so now that this Lego head is somewhat finished, just missing the eyebrows, I am gonna put this cosplay on hold for a little bit. We have the eyebrows that will be coming in 2 days, like the vinyl for the eyebrows will be coming in 2 days. The headpiece prints, I am having some issues. My printer keeps failing when I'm trying to make it do what I want it to do. So it's going to take me a little while to figure out the printer and how to print her headpiece, but I'm working on it. I will make a vlog about it. And the dress, I found a pattern that I want to use for the dress. However, I don't want to print it out on my printer at home and piece everything together like a puzzle. I'd rather just ship it to a print shop for them to print out on one big piece of paper for me. But the print shop charges a lot for shipping, so it's best for me to just ship a bunch of patterns out at once. So I'm gathering all the different patterns that I eventually would like for the different cosplays, and I'm collecting them, and once I have all of them, I will ship them out together, and I might get these patterns in like 2 weeks, I'm thinking. So the dress will pattern will come in 2 weeks. The eyebrow vinyl will come in 2 days. And then who knows when I'm gonna figure out the headpiece. And so this will be on hold. I have 2 other cosplays that I want to work on in the meantime. My Halo Spartan armor, and then I want to also put together like a more casual Nezuko from Demon Slayer cosplay. So my vlogs going forward might focus more on them right now until I get the pieces that I need for my Queen Amidala. There will not be a vlog tomorrow because I'm kind of in limbo about what I want to do cosplay wise. So I'll see y'all again probably Thursday or Friday, but the weekend absolutely for sure. I'll see you next time.